This architectural sketch represents the multi-story office building at King Shaka International Airport. Our objective is to navigate the third-floor alterations and tenant fit-out using a 6-part, Word-based contract administration toolkit. Open a blank Microsoft Word document right now. You will need to copy and paste the template text as we move through each step of this guide. This project is governed by the NEC3 Engineering and Construction Contract. It uses Main Option B, a priced contract with a bill of quantities, layered with customized ACS Z clauses. Airport security rules and these specific Z clauses create rigid administrative deadlines. Having your templates preloaded and ready to deploy protects you from financial penalties caused by missed procedural steps. Step 1 is the early warning notice. This is your primary mechanism for flagging any risk that could impact the project price or the completion date. Copy this format for your EWN template and early warning register fields. You need spaces for the date, the specific risk description, and the potential impact on time or cost. Under Contract Data Clause 11.2.14, the employer mandates 3 specific entries for your risk register: availability of as-built information, access to the site, and site constraints and constructability. Step 2 is the risk reduction meeting. Once an early warning is issued, the project manager and the contractor meet to develop specific mitigation strategies. Here is the layout for the risk reduction meeting agenda and minutes. Add this to your Word document to record the decisions made and the parties assigned to handle each risk. Pay attention to Z Clause Z3.1. It grants the project manager the authority to mandate that a subcontractor attends this meeting if their input helps resolve an issue. Consistent documentation of these warnings and meetings ensures the risk burden is allocated according to the contract, which protects your margins throughout the project. Step 3 focuses on program acceptance. You have a 1-week deadline following the contract award to submit your first program for acceptance. Copy this program acceptance checklist and constraints register. Your program must sequence the works while identifying every operational limitation on site. If the program is rejected, Clause 31.3 dictates a specific remedy. The project manager must identify the exact corrections needed, and both parties must sign off on the amended document. One of the primary physical constraints in your schedule is the installation of site hoarding. You are working in a live airport environment and must separate your construction zone from the public. This is Type A hoarding, used when working adjacent to other tenants to minimize noise and dust. It uses a permanent track system fixed to the floor and the roof structure to hold gray melamine panels. The melamine boards are held securely in place by black top hat sections. Your hoarding must also integrate properly marked access doors for your personnel. A compliant NEC3 program aligns physical hoarding requirements with the contract's mandatory submission and rejection timelines. Step 4 is managing compensation events. These are the contractual mechanisms used to adjust the prices and completion date when the works information changes. Notice this 4-week window on the calendar. ACSA Z Clause Z12.1 states that if you do not notify the project manager of a compensation event within 4 weeks of becoming aware of it, you forfeit your right to claim extra time or money. Paste these templates for the CE notice, the CE register, and the quotation request into your toolkit. Keep the 4-week time bar prominently displayed so your team never misses a deadline. Under Z Clause Z13.1, you are only entitled to changes to the prices or the completion date if you can prove the compensation event directly affects the project's critical path. Your quotation request template must break down costs based on Option B assumptions. Detail the specific bill of quantities items using your contracted rates and quantities. Missing the 4-week notification deadline or failing to demonstrate a critical path delay results in a total financial loss for that specific claim. Step 5 is the payment assessment. Contract Data Clause 50.1 sets the assessment interval at 4 weeks, aligned with your agreed project milestones. Add the payment assessment substantiation checklist to your document. This ensures you submit all required progress measurements along with your application. Z Clause Z5.1 introduces a mandatory requirement. Within 5 days of a request, you must provide written proof that your payment obligations to your subcontractors have been discharged to receive your own certification. Step 6 is defects and handover. The contract stipulates a defect state of 1 year after completion, with a defect correction period of 4 weeks. For your final sequence, copy the defects register and the handover pack table of contents. you need a systematic way to track snags and compile the required closeout documentation. According to Scope Section 6.10, your handover pack must contain specific proof of compliance, including electrical, plumbing, fire, and HVAC certificates. Compiling an immaculate handover pack verifies that your work meets the specifications. This is required to accelerate the final payment assessment and the release of your 10% retention fee. You have now completed your Contract Administration Toolkit, containing 6 properly formatted KSIA-compliant templates. These templates create a formal record for mandatory risk entries, the 4-week compensation event window, and the site's specific hoarding specifications. Save this file as your KSIA 7112/2023 master template, so it is ready for immediate use on site. Consistently applying this NEC3 administrative framework ensures that every change, delay, and site constraint is captured within the contract's legal and financial boundaries.